Hey everyone! Hey, welcome back to our Make It Bliss Monday. We're his own abandoned ministry out of Nashville, Tennessee, and today we're talking about soulmates. Are they real? Are they not real?
What do you think? Do you have one? So I think a lot of times when people use the term soulmate, they are thinking of someone who's going to complete their soul, who's going to complete them, fill every hole and desire they have. And that is just not true. No one can do that.
Except for
Jesus.
Jesus Christ. You do have a soulmate, yeah, Jesus Christ.
So for me, I don't like using the term soulmate because, yes, I do believe God has somebody. He already knows who I'm going to marry. He already knows that. So in a sense, yes, that's kind of already planned out. But I know it's not someone who is going to complete me. So I think a lot of times when people use the term soulmate, they're just thinking of kind of their own heart, like every hole and desire that's going to be filled and met. And that person essentially is supposed to be like perfect,
for each other.
Yeah. And nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. So there's kind of like a double side to this soulmate for me, at least for me, for my own opinion. Because yes, I believe God knows who you're going to end up with. And so that in a sense is already kind of pre-planned, if that makes sense. But again, we can choose, but to remember that person does not complete you.
Yeah, and really, when we talk about soulmates, the idea that I think culturally people expect this, we meet and it's perfect and whatever. Well, if that was true, there wouldn't be so many divorces now. There wouldn't be. Rather, if I love talking to couples who've been married for a really long time and who seem to have really beautiful marriages, and I ask them, what are some of your secrets? And they all have had to grow into that. It wasn't something that just came automatically. They were we were very intentional in growing our hearts and our souls together. So they become each other's soulmate. It wasn't we were each other's soulmate from the beginning, but they worked at it. And by God's grace and their work in choosing to love that person every day, they became each other's soulmate.
Yeah. And I recently got engaged. And so it's been a really big eye-opening experience in many, many ways. But I remember when I was younger having this idea that there was going to be one perfect person for me. And when I would imagine him, he was basically a masculine version of myself. You think your husband's going to be a masculine version of you, which is actually really narcissistic of you. And my fiance is very, in many ways, he's what I imagine and hope for. And in a lot of ways, he's different. He's a completely different person than I am. But I used to think also there was just one person, kind of like what Christine was saying, there's one person that you can marry and that is it, and that's the end of it. And now I think it's really a mystery. It's a mystery that we can't understand because God doesn't just have one single thing for one person or one will for your life or one path, and if you miss it, too bad.
Good luck.
Good luck. I guess there's nobody else you can marry. That can't possibly be true, because we have freedom to choose. We have the freedom to choose for our lives. And so when I look at my fiance, I really see that God completely led us to one another. God ordained it. God did so much work, but then what it is it's a gift before us that we can choose or not choose. And it's not that my fiance is going to complete me or that he's so perfect for me. We have to learn, like Marie said, we have to continue to learn how to love each other and continue to grow in love. I think it's more likely that people grow in love than just fall in love like that. Yeah. It's real love. It takes time and it grows. And I think we have to go to God alone for that person who understands all of us, who can see into our hearts, who understands. Sometimes I'm my fiance doesn't understand me, and I don't understand him, but that's okay because we have a God that does.
It takes the pressure off both of you.
Yeah.
It's
way too much pressure.
Exactly. You're not expecting them to be this perfect person. So I think a lot of times, I've known people who were married and then got divorced, and they said they fell out of love. It's but love is not something that just happens or doesn't happen. Like you said, it's something you choose.
Yeah, and one last thought is we were recently with the Franciscan Friars of the Renewal. The CFRs are so amazing, and one of the priest told us, he said, when you enter into your vocation, you choose your vocation, there are going to be things that you love about it. There are going to be things that you like about it. There are going to be things that you dislike about it. And
It's like, that's just
that really
part of
touched
it.
my heart because I think that we expect things to be perfect if it's God's will, but the cross and the resurrection are always together. You know, you can't
Right.
separate one from the other. And so I think that, you know, there's some discomfort. There's like, you know, things that you dislike, but there's also like, obviously you love that person. And so I think that be careful not to expect perfection and be careful not to just look for
I think that's the bottom line.
Yeah,
one
a
person.
lot of grace and mercy in there.
So let us know what you think.
Yeah. Comment below. Let us know your thoughts because I know this is kind of a hot topic between a lot of people. And come find us on social media. Facebook and Instagram at Be His Own and Twitter at Be His Own Music.
Thanks, guys.
See y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.